Hi, okay, welcome to African Time. The name is Vidashi. I miss you guys a lot. Okay, let's actually see what is happening. Okay, so BBC News World shared this recently about DR Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, saying Chinese nationals arrested with gold bars and $800,000 cash in DR Congo. Okay, so these Chinese citizens were actually arrested in DR Congo, saying that they were caught with gold bars and a cash of $800,000, close to $1 million, though, a cash on them on the border between DR Congo and then Rwanda. They were actually caught. Well, there have been a surprising news after they were caught. Okay, there have been some progressing news that are out, and I wanted to share with you guys. I want to see you guys to know and notice what is actually happening with this statement or this news. I've actually shared this already. You can check my previous videos. It was actually there. Now I'm bringing you what is actually going on after they were caught. Okay, see this. So recently, it was shared by the African Thousand People saying 3 Chinese citizens have been sentenced to 7 years in prison for illegal mining in DR Congo. They were caught with 10 gold bars and 400,000 in cash. They were fined 600,000 and have been banned from the country once their jail sentence are served. Okay, so this is actually progressive how the news is actually going though. It is believed that they have been jailed for 7 years and also have been found or fined $600,000, and after their 7 years jail term, they are banned from the Congo and they have to step back to their country and never return. They are saying that they actually were caught with illegal mining activity. How does one move from their country or from Asia, a different continent to another continent, and work or mine illegally without the help of the locals, though? That is the main point here. I know we are all Africans, we're actually discussing and also condemning the act of illegal mining by the foreign nationals. But who are the people aiding these guys and showing them around? How did these guys actually move all the way from China down to DR Congo and notice that this place or this part of the country had this and that, and they got people working with them, got people actually helping them out by moving gold bars and hoping $400,000? Who or where are the other people that were actually accomplices in this? We need to also get the African brothers also punished so that we all can actually learn to stay away from this one. But first of all, I would say big good work done by the DRC military and the police people, actually making sure these guys were arrested, and also to the DRC or DR Congo judicial system, also making sure they have actually passed a great judgment. I would say it's cool. 7 years and a $600,000 fine and a ban with never returning the country. It's actually fair though. If you ask me, I would say it's fair. So I would say our big shout outs to these DR Congo. I know it's has been tough time with you guys, with the M3 rebels, the Rwandan people, the South African people losing soldiers in the soil, protecting lives and properties there. Prison, there have been a female prison that have been broken out. Female prisoners have been raped and others have been burned. There's a lot of bad news happening in our Congo, and I would say Godspeed with you guys, and then God protect you guys, and hopefully peace can prevail in these countries. But for now, I would say that it was actually good news that they have been arrested and then they have been jailed also, and the judiciary system have been working in the Congo. Now, let's see what our African brothers and sisters actually thought about this. This one was, but before we actually go inside the comment section though, it seems like there's actually a Chinese problem in the whole of Africa. Yeah, it seemed like that. It seemed like there's a Chinese problem in the whole of Africa. South Africa was complaining, Ghana was complaining, Nigeria was complaining, Kenya was complaining, Zimbabwe, Zambia, almost every part of Africa are complaining about the Chinese activities, mostly concerning illegal mining or everything illegal. They are doing mostly illegal things here. And one was actually saying that they were actually being guided and protected by the government, mostly in the African continent. Why should it be so? Well, if you don't trust me, well, see this. Well, to the first comment, this one came and says, good one. If it were in South Africa, the government would have promoted them into their House of Parliament, make them first-class citizens, a house in RDP, etc. And whereas black South Africans won't receive same treatment because we all know they are even foreigners in their own country. Okay. This is the South African actually complaining, saying that if this was to be happening in South Africa, they will actually be called the parliament, give a first-class citizenship, and also being hailed as some kind of heroes. But some native black people or some South Africans or a South African person will actually be treated differently. This is an South African person saying this about the Chinese government and their government too, or the Chinese people who actually, some of them who are in illegal activities, and how they are being healed by the African government in our various African countries. Yeah, that's the right way to say it, right? Yeah. Okay, now this one also says the Ghana government will rather protect them. This is also a person from Ghana, though. He's also saying the same thing. As I said, they seem like a Chinese problem in Africa. I don't know how we are going to talk about this, but we really need to address this before it gets too late. Now, this one also says, this needs to start happening in Zambia. The Chinese have hijacked our minds. Okay, so now that was, at first was South Africa. A Ghanaian also came crying and questioning, and now this is Zambian saying that Chinese have hijacked all their mining industries, and also, most importantly, the worst part of it all, I'm a Ghanaian, do I not know? The worst part of it all is mostly illegally. Only few of them are doing legal. Most of them are actually mining illegally with the help of some locals too. That for sure. I'm never leaving these guys out. With the help of some locals, that makes possible. Okay, this one also says, meanwhile in Ghana, they don't jail them. Next thing you hear is they are gone back to China through some government officials. Good. Another Nigerian also came and says, Nigeria at though. These guys are all over Kogi State doing all manner of things, cutting down our trees, mining all sorts of minerals, and they are aided by the local thanks to Yahaya Bello running the state down to abject poverty. Okay, so it seems like Africa actually has a China problem, and I think one day we actually need to sit down and discuss about these China issues. One thing I don't understand about them is that they are not actually in to just only mining gold or bauxite or anything. They are actually in here to mine almost everything, like anything they can get their hands on. They are in for that. They are in business, and they are not doing it illegally too. Illegally, and I got people that actually protected them. Mostly our governmental people in their various places protect these guys, which is actually not good for the continent. Okay, so this is actually something that we actually need to sit down and talk. And this is actually some progressive news about these Chinese nationals who were allegedly, or they are said to be arrested for stealing or doing illegal mining with about $800,000 cash and also gold bars from the DRC Congo. Okay, that is actually something that's happened recently. So I was actually here to share with you Africa and the Chinese problem, and how Africa can one day be awakened, and also notice that these Chinese might be a problem sometime. We really need to set up and get up leaders start working about this one. The name is Rashi SA. This African time. Thank you for your time. Let's discuss Africa more these days. See you guys around.